Good evening, boys and girls. And boy, do I feel not just good today, but honored today to have my boy Doug Upstone with me today on Doc Sports Wednesday live show. It's been I couldn't wait to have him on. And so when he put on the calendar, he was free this day. I was so excited to have him on. Fellow Cub guy behind, you can see his stuff in the back. I'm not biased saying that maybe he's a Cub fan. That's why I can't wait to have him on. But Doug, welcome to the Wednesday Doc Sports Live Show.
Well, it's my honor to be here, and boy, all these accolades here. I have a big head, anyways, but I think you're making it actually larger by filling it with all this nonsense about me. So, but thank you, I appreciate that. And yes, I am excited to be here myself, and I am ready to go to get into all these topics that we want to talk about, and along with the people that are watching that are going to have some comments and or questions that we can answer, Raphael.
Yeah, we've had two members. We had Jackie Rose signed up today in the Doc's YouTube channel at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's my kind of girl, Jackie Rose, up early in the morning. And Tim Kirk, who signed up about almost an hour ago, is a new Doc Sports member. Tim and Jackie, great channel. We have some great YouTube free play videos. Doug's always on there. I always lack. I say the word try to put one out every day, but we have some fantastic handicappers that pick me up and do some great free plays. Doug, Scott, Icy, August. I'm probably missing Tony. Some great work. So thank you for jumping on board, Tim, because we have some great free plays over on the Doc Sports YouTube channel. Sandeep is in the house. What's going on, Sandeep? Welcome to the show. Sandeep was a regular here. Doug, he has some great questions and stuff like that. Great Doc Sports member here too. So Sandeep, welcome aboard. Doug, what's going on? I mean, we're deep in baseball. We have NHL Final Four in NHL, Final Four in the NBA. We had a great game yesterday in the NBA. How was that NBA game for you yesterday?
I was on the wrong side of it. I had Boston yesterday, but and I'll talk more about that when we talk about the games itself. But yeah, but hey, you know what? It just as one of those things. Didn't play much defense, especially the guards in that game, but didn't get that. But one thing that has been going very well is prop bets. Okay, and I know you love to do them as well. Been on a super run on props dating back to last December. Now this is all props, 60% run. Okay, just across the board,
Nice.
really doing well. And then lately, I've hit 3 in a row, and now on a 65% run over the last month, basically. And as it turns out, well, tonight I got a 7-unit best bet rolling. So excited for that and to keep it going. So what about yourself, Raphael?
Oh, you know me, I'm always busy being a handicapper, helping out casinos, doing crazy prop bets and stuff like that. So there's never a dull moment in my life. I actually did my first golf show the other day. I got asked to do a golf show. So it's probably the most golf research I've done I haven't done that much since I was head odds maker on the strip and offshore. So that was a fun thing to do. But you know me, I try to keep busy, try to keep my mind fresh because being a handicapper, it takes a lot. So I try to keep my mind fresh on other things, making up odds, doing shows and stuff like that. So it's not 100% looking at wins and losses, because you will lose your hair out. But congratulations on a prop run. I love some props. I don't play as much as I would love to because there's just so much out there. You could get lost in DraftKings, BetMGMs, stuff like that. I wish I could play a lot more, but I don't have that much time in the day to research it. But I love doing prop bets. I think I was one of the first campers over at Docs to do prop bets and stuff like that. So I love me doing it. And that's the way it is going now. I mean, that's the way the prop bets are going right now. Rick Brown in the house, thanks for the love. Saying deep, Boston on a joke, always playing down to their competitors. Yeah, I agree. I didn't have any action on that one on the Boston game. I took that game off, and I almost sprinkled my own money on a little Pacer money line, and I just got lost in track of the day. And I'm watching the game, and I'm kicking myself. My brother's texting me, ha ha ha, because I told him, "Oh, I love Boston. Boston's gonna come back," because my brother's the biggest parlay guy in the world, and so he's texting me, "Oh, you should bet it." And so I'm kind of glad I didn't bet it, but it was a fun thing to watch. A great game, no defense, like you said on that one. But let's dive into a little NHL playoffs. We're in the Final Four. What do you think the outcome is going to be, and what do you think the way the ice is going to sway in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals?
Well, looking at the East, because that's the first game and the one that's actually going on tonight as we're doing this live video, is I guess I'm surprised and actually quite a bit surprised that the New York Rangers, again, second straight series, have home ice advantage because they won the President's Cup, but they're an underdog. And so, the thing I look at this series, to me, I can go into all kinds of different aspects here, but to me, the series is going to be decided what happens when the teams are 5-on-5 and with special teams. Florida, they have to stay out of the penalty box. But here's the thing about Florida, if you've watched them in the playoffs this year, and even actually last year, is that they have so many agitators on this team that they get in situations where they just take dumb penalties. And New York, with that power play, which is dynamic right now, I mean, I think it was number 2 or 3 in the NHL this season and far and away number 1 in the playoffs. If they do that, okay, and their ability to kill off penalties, okay, I think they're in good shape. So in terms of this series, I actually like the Rangers to win and advance.
I could agree. I like the Rangers. Totally blown away when I woke up. It was minus 105 on the Rangers being a home underdog. But the way I've been picking hockey, I couldn't pick a winner if I was going against two chimpanzees on the ice. But yeah, totally blown away. I agree. I think the Rangers. Everyone wants to say Panthers are a more physical team. They can probably score in all. They have 14 guys that can probably score on the ice. But I agree. I like the Rangers on this spot, and not because my good friends back in Vegas are big diehard Ranger fans, and I always root for them because I don't have a hockey team. I always root for my friends and stuff like that. So I'm looking for the Rangers on that. But I agree with you. I think that it leads to I'm leaning towards the Rangers to win the series. Now I'm hoping it goes 6 or 7 because there's nothing better than a Game 7 in NHL playoffs. I don't care about Game 7s in the NBA, Game 7s in baseball. There's nothing better to watch than a Game 7 in the NHL playoffs. So I agree with you on that one. Sandy, someone said, "Oh, Chad Fry's in the house. Good day, Chad. Love the Brew Crew run line. Thoughts today?" I could see that, but I'm just not sold on Peralta on the mound. I was looking at that play earlier today on that one. The number got away, opened up at minus 135. It got bet down really quickly. So I was a little bit shocked on the line movement. So I would probably maybe stay away on that one, especially on the run line on the road. I know Miami's offense stinks. They can't score any runs. And we're going to see a totally different Miami team during the trade deadline, probably especially in their pitching staff. So I like the Brewers. I don't know about the run line. Do you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, generally speaking, the Marlins are just playing better. I mean, they're not a good team, but lately they have played better. So from that standpoint, I would agree. I don't think a run line's a safe play. And the Brewers, been kind of up and down lately. I mean, even we talk about the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs haven't played well at all, but they haven't lost any distance. Okay, from the Brewers. So. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that that's the best to just keep your money in your pocket, save it for a better bet.
Yeah. Well, we'll go back to hockey a little bit.
Yep.
Am I an idiot for thinking and this could be Canadians' year to maybe just make it to the Stanley Cup? I know everyone keeps on saying Dallas. Dallas is goalkeeping. They could probably do really, really well and keeping Edmonton out of the net. But I just think McDavid had such a quiet last series, whereas last game, I think he only had one shot on goal. I would not be shocked if it's Edmonton that can really, really put some pressure on Dallas's defense. I like Edmonton in the series. Am I wrong here?
I don't know that you're wrong. I think it's going to be how I look at this series is that if Dallas's defense holds up, okay, and they can stop the star power of Edmonton, they can win the series. But here's the thing about this series that I'm really curious to watch, and it's going to be the third period, okay, of each game, because Dallas gave up leads in their last series. Edmonton had comebacks and gave up leads in the last series. So if you're behind by a goal, or if you're let's put it this way, if you're betting the team and your team has a lead going into the third period and it's looking good, it isn't. I'm just telling you, whatever could happen will happen in these games. And I would not be at all surprised, to be perfectly honest, if there's at least 2, if not 3 overtime games, because the firepower and sometimes the lack of defense from both these teams at crunch time has been a difference maker.
Yeah, I really want to see. I really want to see Rangers Oilers Stanley Cup. I guess that's why I'm a little bit. But I think McDavid This is his chance. I think they finally
Yeah.
built. I don't want to say a super team or a good team around him. He's got nice pieces around him to make that next step, and I think this is the year that he does that. Rodney Ferguson wants to know if we have any thoughts on the WNBA game. Center. There's only one game tonight. Indiana, Seattle. Seattle's at home. Indiana, can they get a win? Can Caitlin Clark get a W? That's all she's looking for. She gave one away their last game at home with a even though they covered the spread. I don't like this game. I don't this number. I made my own number 4.5, 5. Books open up 5. One shop has 5.5. I do believe it's Caesars. I pulled back on this one. I'm going to sit back and watch it because for me, it's either Indiana plus the points or nothing for them. Maybe the under 166 seems to be high. Seattle's last 3 games, all 3 of them have gone under the total. They play really, really good team defense. But for me, I'm going to sit back. I have no play over in Docs and WNBA, and this one skated one out yesterday. The gambling gods gave me a nice hug last night with the LA Sparks. Thank you, late line movements. But I would pass on that one. It's the only one game, and there's some really, really good matchups coming up this weekend, holiday weekend in the WNBA. So that's just my 2 cents to Rodney. Joe Skinner, cool. Doug and Raphael, do you know who are doing a live show? Lucky me. Thanks for first, Joey. Thanks for coming in. And yeah, it's an honor to have Doug on there with us today. Sandeep says first period under Rangers game minus 125. Hopefully you cashed that, Sandeep. I think I did see minus 3 nickels earlier in today, so I guess the public is on you because it's minus 125 on that one. So good thought on that one. But let's face it, Doug. People want to hear us talk baseball, not because we're big Cub fans, but it's the summer. I mean, I know it's hot where you at.
Yep.
We're supposed to be in 100 degrees this weekend in New Orleans, so it's the boys of summer. And we were going back and forth, and I really want to talk about the biggest and most disappointing teams in baseball, and we have some good ones. Me and you went back and forth on some ones. Yep. What are your biggest surprises in Major League Baseball right now?
Well, in fact, both of them played this afternoon, and it went according to script, as it turns out. So my biggest surprise team is the Cleveland Guardians. Oh, I almost said Indians. Boy, I missed it by that much
earlier today.
But Cleveland, from what I could find earlier, I found that their over/under season win total before the season was 79.5. Okay, right now they're 33-17. I think they're pretty much on their way. Right now, at this exact moment, they are tied with the Yankees for the second best record, And if the Yankees lose tonight, then they have the second best record. So what's changed for the Guardians this year? All of those young players that they've had the last several years in the everyday lineup, well, guess what? They started to hit. They figured it out. And so that's the difference. Number 5 scoring offense. Now, this team was originally built for pitching, and the pitching is still very good. Okay, they're number 4 in runs allowed, and their starting rotation is generally is good in terms of ERA, but their bullpen is number 1 in run prevention. Here's to me of one thing I always look at in terms of a quality team. Now, obviously this can change, but as we speak right now, the Cleveland Guardians are 25-11 in games decided by 2 runs or more. That means the bullpen shutting it down and the offense is clicking. And that's exactly what happened today in their victory over the Mets, where they were down 3-0 and won 6-3.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. I totally agree with you on that one. But you know what? I forgot to do some free plays. People are watching. They don't care less what we think about and stuff. They want to hear for free plays. My first one, I'm going to give the Yankees run line plus 160 first 5 innings. The Yankees bullpen, you just said the Yankees bullpen has not been good. Been giving up late walks. We saw them last week, our last couple of games against Seattle. Seattle has beaten them 3 straight, going all the way back to last year. They've outscored them 21-9, Seattle. I think the Yankees bats come out quickly, come out hard, will not be shot if Judge hits one out. So I'm going to take the first 5 innings on the Yankees minus 1.5. And I love that juice of plus 160. So I'm going to give that one. And then my next one, I'm going to do. Now, he's questionable for tonight's game. I know that people don't be blowing me all up on social media, but Michael Conley over 10.5 points. He's got a bad wheel. He's got an Achilles injury. He's probably going to play tonight. It's at home. If this was in Dallas, he doesn't play. This is game 1 in Minnesota. You don't think that crowd's going to be rocking? I like him. I think he's going to get some easy points around the rim because everyone's be focused on Ant-Man and the Cat-Man and the other big guy. So I think Conley can get some quick early points and some free throws late. So I'm going to take 10.5, which at number opened up at 11.5. It's been dropped to 10.5. So those are my 2 ones. Do you have any free sprinkles for all these viewers?
I certainly do. And I'm going to go north of the border. Chris Bassett of the Toronto Blue Jays is starting today. Having a terrible year, to be perfectly honest. 3-6 with a 5.09 ERA. He's 35 years old now. Okay. And this season, strikeouts are down, walks are up, hits are up, having some control issues and command issues. Okay. Well, that kind of goes to the territory at this age. But one thing he's doing tonight, he's facing the White Sox, who are averaging 2.9 runs per game. If Bassett needs a shot of confidence in this one, I think this is the place to get it. And the one thing too is that this prop is for, will Chris Bassett win? Will he get a decision on this game? And in this case, win the game. And so with this one, he has made 9 starts. He's gotten 9 decisions. And if you're going to bet this prop, that's very important to know. So I'm going to take Chris Bassett for a yes to get a winning decision tonight over the Chicago White Sox.
I love that. I love that play just because they're playing the White Sox. And of course, you can get that play all over any apps, BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, and all that. That's an easy app. It's an easy prop to jump on with Doug and cash with Doug on that one. So those are free plays. We'll sprinkle them out before we log off today. I apologize for that one. But my biggest surprise, I'm going to go back to the AL Central. We praised them. We beat them up because we talked about the White Sox. And I'm going to praise them up again because I am blown away with the Kansas City Royals. I mean, their home field advantage this year, I think that's when usually Kauffman Stadium, you can maybe split a series, win a series, and they have not had a dominant Kauffman Stadium and since they won the World Series. But what I've seen on starting pitching and bullpen and hitting, I mean, they're playing small ball when they need to. If they need to hit the long ball, Witt hit 2 home runs yesterday. Didn't need the second one. They were up big already. So I just like the way this team has gelled around. They went through the farm system. They didn't trade away. They didn't gut their system like we see the Royals do year after year and year. They're young. They're talented. And if they stay like they are, seconds, I think a game and a half out of that division, they're going to be buyers, which normally we see them lately are sellers. And there's going to be a lot of big names out there. I think as sellers, I think the Toronto Blue Jays are going to be big sellers. The New York Mets could be big sellers. Maybe one of my disappointing teams I'm going to talk about could be a seller. So I'm really high in this Kansas City Royals. Everyone thought it was going to be Twins, Guardians. But you know what? Something's happening over there in Kansas City. They may not have a home because they're trying to figure out if they're going to get a new stadium or not. But right now, I like the way the Kansas City Royals have been playing baseball. So they're one of my biggest surprise teams.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that I went kind of like back and forth, and so that was one of the 2 that I would also like. The other thing too that kind of impressed me, and the general manager in the franchise seemed to know something. I'm not saying Michael Wacha, and I forget the name. They picked up another key player, but they added parts this year, which is not their nature to do before the season. And so I kind of got the impression that they knew something was up a little bit potentially here. The other thing too, why I like to watch them play is that whoever their hitting coach is, they use the whole field. And that's one of Witt's greatest strengths. And I think it's rubbing off on the entire team is that where the ball's pitched, they hit it. And that's why they're doing so well offensively.
I've watched a couple of their games, and you know what they've done more than anybody else? They're bunting when they need to bunt. Right. Not this others. When did bunting go out of style? I don't understand how these players cannot learn how to bunt these days. But I've seen the Royals do some fantastic work bunting. Even the Phillies, I saw them a couple of times do some nice bunting to get the guy to third because Schwarber was up. And Schwarber, what's he do? Yeah. It's a sacrifice fly. The loss of bunting is completely puzzled my mind on that. What about your disappointing team? And don't say the Cubs.
No, that's it. This one to me sticks out like, my thumb's not sore, but if it was, this would be the explanation. The Houston Astros season win total was 93.5 coming into the year. You know what? I am on board with Dusty Baker. I think he knew something. Okay, leaving.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
After they lost to Texas, here's the thing, though. I did a little extra research, and I did this for Raphael and the listeners, by the way, on this one. In the last 7 years, the Astros have been to the playoffs each year. You add those games up, that is 97 additional games that they have played in the last 7 years, all pressure packed. So to me, that takes its toll on the players. It for sure takes its toll on the pitching staff. And I think it's in part a big reason as to why they're 22-28 as we stand here or sit here right now. Offense has recently picked up some. They didn't do too well today, but they're back into the top 10. But here's the thing, 24th in runs allowed. Their ERA is 28th in Major League Baseball, only ahead of Colorado, Miami. Bullpen, 7-11 record. Save percentage, below 500, 29th in baseball. The only good news for the Astros right now, they're in the AL West. Seattle's not impossible to beat. Texas is not hard to catch. The Angels and the A's, we already can see what's going to happen there. So they could come back. But in terms of right now, which is what Raphael's question is, who's the most disappointing team in baseball? To me, the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked. They are playing a little better lately.
Right.
I'll give them that because they're getting healthy, but I'm not sold on their starting pitching, and I'm not sold on that bullpen. And then they keep on using that bullpen because their pitchers can barely go 5 innings, and then you get your bullpen going right away. There's something on there. Ricardo wants to know, can the Yankees lose 3 in a row? Can Ricardo, we talked about this earlier as my free play. I have them as first 5 innings on a run line plus 160. I would go that way. I don't trust the Yankees bullpen right now. I said they've lost 3 straight to Seattle, counting back to last year as well. Nestor's on the mound. That's the only thing I kind of like about the Yankees. I know he's only played Seattle once. I think he only threw 5 innings. I think he gave up 3 hits, no earned runs. I think that was last year's game. I don't have that stat in front of me. And I would say I'm fading more Bryce Miller on that play just because he got rocks his last out. I think he only went 5 innings. I was thinking it was Baltimore that beat him beat the Seattle 9-2 in that game. So more safe taking the first 5 innings. Either Yankees, I think it was minus 145 or minus 150, and then of course minus 1.5 plus 160 on the run line. Then I am taking the game because what I've seen the last 2 days on the Yankees bullpen, I can't trust them walking guys when they shouldn't be walking them, and then tying up the runs on bad plays. So no, I'm safe with the first 5 innings, Ricardo. Joey, are you guys joking about heat and humidity, Raphael? It's hot over here in Mobile. Well, yeah, okay, you're in Mobile, Alabama. So, yeah, I can understand where you're at, where it's hot and stuff like that. It's been a big fan of your wife's work. Oh, thank you. I guess you know my wife, Nola Val, from all her artwork. So thank you, Joey, for commenting on that. Dallas plus 4.5, Panthers, NHL, and Padres. Anything I'm seeing wrong? I don't like Dallas. Wait, let me take that back. I do like the plus 4.5. If you're going to take Dallas, don't take the plus 4. There is a couple 4.5s out there. Mm-hmm. Shop around because I think that number moves mostly to 4.5 because what I saw before we jumped on air, a lot of money bets coming in Minnesota and a -4. So I do agree on that one. Panthers in the NHL. We both like the Rangers on this one. So I guess me and Doug versus you, Joey, tonight. So whoever loses buys beers tonight. And I'm just not sold on the Padres right now. I think they're starting to get a little healthy. They're starting to play a little bit better, but that's what I think. Hopefully we didn't confuse you, but I do like the Dallas Mavericks number 4.5. I don't think we'll see 5. I think if we would have seen 1.5, it would have been popped up already. But I think that number probably closes closer to 4.5. So hopefully cash all your tickets, Joey. And Joey, thanks for watching. You're always a big fan over here on Doc's Wednesday live show. You're always here. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being my fan of my wife's work as well. One of my biggest surprises, I guess I must hate the Central because now I'm going back to the NL Central, and I'm not taking the Cardinals because I'm a Cubs fan, even though the Cardinals were close on my list. But what did we hear all summer long? And if you're NA Central fans like myself with the Cubs and stuff like that, watch out for the Reds. Watch out for the Reds. Is this the Reds season? The Reds. Where are they at? They have no pitching whatsoever. They have one cruise. Now they have 2 cruises in the NL Central. We're talking the Pirates cruise and the other cruise in the Reds. I'd rather take the Pirates cruise than I would take the Reds cruise. I'm just not sold on what I was promised to see the Cincinnati Reds. I loved watching the Reds in the 70s with Bench and the Big Red Machine and P Rose and stuff like that. I was promised this Reds team this year that was going to battle between the Cubs, Brewers, and the Reds. It was going to be a mix of us three and stuff like that. And I have not been promised since day one. I think at one time they led the league in errors. Their bullpen has been shaky. They have no left-hander in the bullpen that can get a left-handed bat out. I could probably go in there. I'm left-handed and maybe get a left-handed bat out. But I was just sold on the Reds so high. I'm thinking, wow, if the Cubs ain't going to win a division, I would love to see the Reds win the division. I came in the season like that, like to see the Reds, and I was totally disappointed. I know the Cardinals are up there, and I could have picked the Cardinals as an easy way out because I hate to say this. I say it all the time. St. Louis Cardinals is the best baseball town in the United States. I hate to say it. I've been to many ballparks, the way they support the Cardinals and stuff like that. It's a great city to watch a baseball game and stuff like that. I could easily cherry picked on that one because the way they've been playing, they're going to be sellers. They're going to be probably selling their two cornerstones at third base and first baseman if someone wants to take them. But I think the Reds has to be one of the most disappointing teams I have seen so far this year in baseball.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The offense to me is the problem because I mean they got a couple of decent pitchers. Abbott it comes to mind right off the top, and actually last night he was part of the shutout. I actually had the Reds last night for first 5 innings, so that was a nice dinner. And but yeah, this offense just isn't getting the job done, and it's up and down too. That's the whole problem. I mean, it's like, you can get away with if certain guys, don't hit, everybody's going to go through slumps. But this team, there's always like 5 or 6 guys together that are not hitting. And that's the problem. And I'm going to say what I would consider a pretty mild-mannered guy in Kirk Herbstreit, he on Twitter or X, he has been ripping the Reds. Okay. And that's his team. And he has just been brutal on them. And it's like, wow, boy, if this guy talked like this about college or football, it would be interesting to hear some of that. But no, so I agree. Reds, no good right now, and not sure where it turns around.
Do you think they're missing that leadership that Votto had with them? I mean, he is veteran leadership, and he could maybe pull some guys aside. And I mean, he's got a great, wonderful eye for hitting and stuff like that. I don't see any leadership in that team right now. True. And then that could be me. I could be totally wrong on that one, but I think they're missing that Votto leadership in a bullpen because last year he was there. Even when he was hurt, Votto was always in the always in the dugout, cheering him on, sweatshirt, chewing seeds and stuff like that. He was always there, especially when he was on the IL stint. So I think that's what they're missing. But again, I could be wrong. But hopefully, I'm just glad I didn't say the Cubs were one of my most disappointing teams. I'm happy, and I'm happy you didn't say that either. So it's a happy evening for me. But I can't believe it's 28 minutes already, Doug. So let's sprinkle our free plays before we jet out. Yep. Joey wants to say hello to you, Doug. He forgot to say hi to you on his next comment. So he said hi to you.
I know exactly who this is. So yes, hello, sir. How are you doing today? And I know what area of the world he's from. So yes. And hey, anybody else that's watching too, I appreciate you stopping by because hey, as a first timer here, always good. And hey, let's give us some Raphael. Raphael and I did one show, not a live show, but did one show.
Oh man, you're gonna bring that up, aren't you?
No. I'm not gonna go negative on you. No. I'm just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna compliment you. Okay. On this.
Okay.
Is that
I like compliments.
I think he's done a fantastic job here as host and really has run the show expertly. And I'm not one to really give a lot of compliments out here, but I'm really impressed with how you're handling everything here. And everybody, you know what? If you're not here every Wednesday at this time and has nothing to do with me, it has everything to do with the guy that I'm talking about here, make sure that you're watching every single Wednesday.
Thank you. Sometimes I do it by myself if you have no handicappers, and the time even goes by quick by yourself. I mean, because you get comments in there. Joey wants to know about the WNBA game. I passed on it today. I just don't like the number on this one. It's only one game. If I was going to force, if my wife gave me an extra money for my allowance, I might look at the under at 166.5. But like I said, that's probably something that I wouldn't look at. But I want to get my free plays out before we jet out of here. Mine was the Yankees run line plus 160 first 5 innings. Make sure it's first 5 innings because right now I don't trust that Yankees bullpen. So let's grab that nice plus money at plus 160. And then Mike Conley over 10.5 points on this one. It was 11.5. Now it's 10.5. He should play tonight.
All right, and then as I mentioned, Chris Bassett to get a win, okay, a registered win in the game against the Chicago White Sox. And my other free play, which I neglected to say, is to take Dallas plus 4.5. And I'll give you one really good reason. Teams that are seeded fifth or lower in the NBA playoffs, and they're an underdog, are now 15-6 against the number in the conference final in the last 21 games, and that includes the Pacers last night.
That's a great stat. And Pacers should have won that game. How do you not foul the guy in the corner? Why you don't let him shoot a three? Jeez, but it was a great game though. But Doug, thank you for coming on the Wednesday Doc Sports Live show. It's been an honor to have you on there with me. We've been friends for a while. I love chit chatting with you on the phone, just talking shop. It's been an honor. I can't believe the half hour has gone by so quickly. So again, thank you, moderator. Thank you for doing all your great work behind the scenes. It's been another fantastic Wednesday. Hopefully you can do this again on another Wednesday Doc show. But thank you, and thank you for joining us. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button over on the YouTube Docs YouTube page. Don't forget to watch all those free play videos from all our handicappers, Doug, Scott, IC, Tony George, Griffin. Thank you, August. Thank you for catching August. They all do some fantastic work. I'm probably the least amount of guy that does free play videos. So like them before you like me. They do fantastic work. Doug, have a fantastic holiday weekend. Stay safe, cash big, and you guys all know how I end my shows. Please don't bet what you don't have.